My name is Bose Oshin. I'm a TV producer, movie producer, and this is my exclusive.
Bose Oshin is a seasoned producer in the movie and TV industry in Nigeria. She studied theatre, film and TV production at Lagos State University and emerged the most dedicated student in the class of 2000. After which, she went on to work with one of the most prolific theatre studios in Nigeria, the Performance Studio Workshop, then under the leadership of Mr. Chuck Mike. Bose has co-produced and managed some of the most outstanding movies to grace the Nigerian and international markets in recent times, including The Figurine, Phone Swap, Half of a Yellow Sun, and many more. Bose owns Game, Golden Aqua Media, a production company specializing in hiring crew for television drama, commercials, documentaries, and feature films in Nigeria. Game handled the Nigerian crew recruitment for MTV Africa's popular TV series Sugar. Now, let's meet Bose Oshin.
My name is Bose Oshin. I'm a TV producer, line producer, and production manager. I work on movies, TV series, or TV production generally, documentaries as well, and reality shows too.
I feel as if I have been dropped into some...
I've done quite a number of productions, part of which are Half of a Yellow Sun, the MTV Sugar series, Phone Swap, October 1, to name a few. And, well, it's been good so far.
I congratulate our entire people of Nigeria.
Happy Independence!
The basic challenges a producer faces on a day-to-day basis are, I won't say there's any one particular challenge. It always differs. I mean, today you could be dealing with a bad sound. Tomorrow you could be dealing with an actor messing up. And most of the time, the things that you think you have already planned, those things that you think you have laid down all the plans totally that nothing could go wrong, those are the things that go wrong. So one thing I've learned is always to go on set well prepared, yes, but also to prepare to know that some things will go wrong and know how to face it square on once it happens.
From the producers of Irabada, Golden Effects in association with Jungle Theme.
On the Figurine, when we were shooting the Figurine, we had an instance where our big generator, 100 kVA, dropped inside the lagoon. And we had to fish it out. That was another experience totally on its own. I mean, how do you get up in the morning and prepare that, okay, today my 100 kVA generator is going to drop into the lagoon? So day to day, you face different challenges of all sorts, and you just have to be able to manage it one way or the other.
Madam, my appointment was for 4:30. Is the minister still not ready?
Sorry, sir. The minister was just called to the villa.
And you could not let me know, seeing that you told me 4:30 p.m. earlier?
Is that not what I'm doing now? Telling you.
Firstly, I have a theatre background. So one thing we've learned in the theatre is that the show must go on. In fact, we go as far, I trained with Chuck Mike as well. He goes as far as telling us, die after the show. The show always has to go on. There's no excuse. I mean, to cancel a shoot has to be the last resort whatsoever. There has to always be an alternative. Once you make a plan, make sure you have backup plan, and then you have a backup for that backup plan, because anything could go wrong. I mean, I've had about 12 years in this industry so far. I walked away from a production in 2013, and that's because we had a lot of foreign crew, and they were not treating my crew fairly. So I had to give them an option that you either treat my crew fairly or I walk out. So that has been the only time I've ever walked out on a production. I studied theatre arts in LASU, after which I went to do an internship with the Performance Studio Workshop, then under the management of Chuck Mike, who was an American that came into the country then. After that, I went to work full-time with an NGO. And one way or the other, I found my way back into this beloved industry. And that was 12 years ago. And since then, I've been here and getting stronger. I finished my internship with Chuck Mike in the year 2000. Then this industry was not as vibrant as this. I mean, it was also a period where parents and people normally, when you tell them that you're a theatre artist or you're in the entertainment industry, they look at you like, are you serious at all? Is this what you want to do? So it was sort of like, okay, I had to decide whether or not I could make a living from being in the entertainment industry. And I was young then, so I had to take the choice of looking for something more stable. But after working there for about 3-4 years, I one way or the other, I just found myself back in the entertainment industry, and I decided that, look, there are people here, we just have to make it work. So when I got back into the industry, one of the first things I did then was a series for one of the major telecom companies around. They were doing a 26-episode series. It was like a lifestyle reality, not reality really, like a lifestyle show, which I sort of co-produced then. After that, I did a couple of other small little productions, and then the big one I did was The Figurine with Kunle Afolayan. That was like a big launch back into the industry. We shot it in 2008 in Oshin State and also in Lagos State.
There's something evil in my house. That thing is back.
So it was almost like a baptism of fire for me, because I had all these grown men all feeling very macho, and here I was, this thank God I have a big stature. But generally, most of the time, men tend not to want to respect women when you're in a position of authority. But thankfully, I've overcome all that now. I mean, in the industry, I'm proud to say that I'm one of the most respected now. Whoever I work with, whoever are my crew members, they know that, okay, this person knows what she's doing. And I have that respect from my crew members now.
A special woman is arriving this weekend. Very special.
Yes, sir. My name is not Sir. Yes, sir.
One of the major high points of my career is when I see reviews of any movie that I produced or managed, and people are happy with the outcome. It gives me joy. I mean, that's the basic joy I get, because I'm normally not in front of the camera, I'm behind the scenes. So most of the time, people don't even know me. But once I go to the cinema to see a movie that I produced or that I managed, and I see people's reaction to it, how they're happy to be seeing it, then I'm fulfilled inside. Generally, a producer is one of the first persons that come on a production. Once you've decided, okay, I want to do this movie, the producer is the very first person you get in touch with, because it's the producer that assembles the team. It's the producer that hires the director. Most people don't know this. Most of the time, the person you know on a production is usually the director. So, and because in other industries, once you mention a director, the director is the sole controller of everything. So people tend to think that the director is always the boss. But on a movie set or on a TV set, the producer ideally puts things together. The director is the creative boss. He oversees, the series or the movies is his brainchild. But every other logistic angle, making sure quality control and all that is all on the producer. So the producer makes sure that you have the correct quality you want. The producer makes sure that everything is organized as at when due, the equipment are there when due, meals are there when due, cast are taken care of properly, crew are taken care of properly. The producer also oversees parts of post-production once it's done. So generally, movies or TV series or anything, any production at all, is the baby of the producer. I think they both deserve their credits. I mean, the director most of the time has done a wonderful creative job. His job is to interpret whatever story you've written down onto the big screen. He has done that. But I do find out also that most of the time, the production department, I say production department now because it's not just the producer. Production department also includes the line producer, it includes the production manager. Most of the time, they're not acknowledged as it should be. But I guess that's because people deal with what they see. they see the actors and then they know about the director, but they don't know that there are other people in the background that make these things work. I mean, if you don't have a good sound person, your movie comes out looking very bad. I mean, when once people can't hear what you're saying, there's no point. So we just need to have a culture where people also realize that there are other people behind the making of the movies and not just the actors you see on screen. You need to be able to make decisions spontaneously once it happens. You need to know that you're in charge. Anything that goes wrong on set, you have to be able to think on the spot and know what solution to prefer. You rarely have a life of your own, because once you're producing, you're on call 24/7. Anything might go wrong and they call you at 2 a.m., you have to answer. So that's the number one downside, I would say. But generally, I believe that if you enjoy what you're doing, and everything will come natural to you. The basic thing I do is I enjoy my work. So anything that could have been negative, I try as much as possible to turn it into positivity. Almost every production I've been on has gotten one sort of award or the other. I mean, there's Half of a Yellow Sun. I know it won several awards. There's The Figurine. It won several awards. Phone Swap as well. October 1 has started winning awards already. There's The Meeting. It won several awards. Flower Girl, several awards as well.
Make him jealous. Give him a challenge or something. Make him fight for you.
You can help me.
Look at your man.
Project that brought out a special skill in me, I would say, was The Figurine, because it was the first major production I did. Every other one I had done before then, I had a crew of maybe 20, 30. But on The Figurine, both cast and crew, I had over 100 people that I was managing.
So fast now. What?
So on that project, with managing over 100 people, I doubled as co-producer, production manager, line producer, first AD. So it was a lot of work for me, and I sort of discovered so many other things that I could do on that set, because I never knew I had that. I mean, I've always been a very cool person, being very patient person, but that project really tested my patience, and it taught me a lot of things, I should say. Apart from producing, I also write. I've done a couple of radio dramas. One of them being One Thing at a Time, produced by Society for Family Health. I also wrote on the Onga radio drama series. Amongst others, I've done a couple of TV series as well. I mean, I'm putting together a short story now, a short film that I want to shoot, and I'm co-writing with somebody else. Family to me is it's key, yes. I mean, because I have these people that also work. I mean, my sister and my brother that are also in the industry. I have a younger sister, Tokbe Oshin, who most people know as a director, producer as well. She's done a couple of things out there, and she's well respected as well. Then I have another younger brother, Ade Oshin. He's an editor. He works with Ebony Life TV. So one way or the other, we've sort of, we have a family network. Tokpa's husband also, Yinka Ogun, he created Tinsel, amongst other projects that he has done as well. He's also a well-respected member in this industry. Growing up was fun to an extent. I say to an extent because there was a period in my life when I was typically an ajebota, if you want to put it that way. My younger years, my parents, I mean, my father was very well-to-do then, so we grew up with I won't say with a silver spoon, because my mother was very strict. Very strict. You won't get away with any bad behavior with my mother. Not at all. She's always has a slap ready for you if you misbehave. Always. She never misses it. So maybe that's where, definitely that's where we got our good upbringing from. Because it's not just me. Even my siblings were all very well behaved. And also there was a phase where things were a little bit rough, and I'm sure that happens in every family as well. So I would say I've had the best of both worlds. I generally spent most of my downtime at home. But also I'm that kind of person where once I'm in the middle of a production as everybody else, you're waiting, I can't wait for this thing to finish. I'm so stressed, I need to rest. And then the production is over. 3 days later, I'm like, okay, so what's next? I'm bored. Now, for the past 6 months thereabout, I've hardly had time to rest. I've only been able to snatch a few days here, a weekend there. And every day I'm on the move. I'm doing one work or the other, one documentary, one TV series, one movie. There's always something to do now. What would I advise an aspiring producer? Well, first thing I'll tell them is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I mean, you do 80% work and you get 10% money. First of all, you need to know that you have to do it for the passion, not for the money. This is not an industry you come in strictly for money, no. You have to have the passion, you have to have the interest to do it. You have to have the patience because they will test your patience. The actors will test your patience, crew members will test your patience as well. So you really have to have the passion to do it before you even start thinking of money at all.
That crazy receptionist is more important than the minister you're trying to see.
Professor Akpan, keep blowing grammar there now.
Imagine. Unrepentant, despite your apparent misconduct.
Code red.
Etemio, you see, Professor Akpan, you want to disgrace me.
No, don't touch me. Do you know who I am? CEO, Arsenal Hotels.
To employ a director, I first of all look at the script I have. If it's a comedy, I know there are directors that are good with comedy. There are directors that their strength is in drama. And then there are those that their strength is in thriller. You as the producer or as the executive producer, you need to know what is best for what you're producing. You need to know for sure that, okay, if I employ Mr. A is only very good in comedy, not drama. So therefore, Mr. A is not the best candidate for this movie, even though his other movies have been fantastic. But you have to gauge whatever script you have. People management is a skill. It's a skill you have to acquire over time. It comes to me naturally now. I don't even have to think about it anymore. Once I meet somebody, within the first 1-2 hours, I already know the kind of person you are. I've worked with directors that like to have coke, everyone are. So you already know that if you want to keep that director happy, just move close to him, give him a coke. He's happy, he's going. I've worked with those that won't touch any of those things. They just want an apple. All these are little things that you need to remember to keep people feel special and thereby make them want to work. My number one philosophy is do unto others what you want them to do to you. I mean, whatever I do to you, you might not be the one to do it back. Somebody else is watching somewhere that will do it back to me. So I generally don't do to anybody what I don't want to be done to me.
A special woman is arriving this weekend. Very special.
Yes, sir. My name is not Sir. Yes, sir.
I love music because well, maybe I should say I love music over movies because in my room I have a radio beside my bed, which I leave on all through the night. So I absolutely love music. I love movies as well, especially those that are well made. I mean, one of the things I do when I have some downtime is go to the cinemas. I can go there one day, watch 3-4 movies. So they're all forms of relaxation for me.